Hi, I'm Spencer, and then over the next 10 minutes, I'll walk you through my shoebox mounted Raspberry Pi 5 weather station and climate station that streams environmental data but also measures its own real time scheduling performance. We'll look at the hardware first, then dive into software pipeline, and then look at some debugging stuff, and finish with the dashboard that I created that shows all the critical real time metrics. So I have a Raspberry Pi 5 in my box, and then connected to that I have a 400 tie point breadboard that is glued into the box as well that connects everything. I have a CCS 811 gas sensor that reports the CO2 in ppm, and then I have and also the TVOC and PPB over I2C, which is the port on the Raspberry Pi. I have a DHT11 that reports temperature and humidity. I placed a 10 kilo ohm series resistor on the SDA SCO, which is the data ports, damp bus ringing, and a 10 kilo ohm pull up on the DHT11's data line to avoid floating. On the software pipeline, I used a virtual environment, a Python virtual environment, and then just created a couple of files called Sensor Publisher, which publishes all of our sensor data along with some metrics, and then cyclic publisher.py, which publishes our latency. So on the Pi, I just created a Python 3 virtual environment and installed the libraries I needed: ADA Fruit, PSUtil, and then Payho and MQTT. And then, so the two files, sensor publish.py, it runs every second, and it reads the temperature, the humidity, the CO2 in the air, the TVOC, and also for the metrics it has on the system, it has the CPU temp, the load, the CPU load, the memory, and then it packages them into JSON and publishes them to a MQTT topic called Weather Pi 5, which goes over to the MacBook. And then cyclic publisher.py invokes cyclic test at real-time priority to make or to measure wake-up latency in microseconds, and then it publishes each value to RT cyclic, which is different than Weather Pi 5. But both scripts are managed by systemd services that auto start on boot and restart on failure. So on my Mac, I installed Mosquito, Telegraph, and then InfluxDB via Homebrew. And then Telegraph's MQTT consumer plugin subscribes to those topics and then parses all the JSON into fields and writes into the InfluxDB weather bucket every 10 seconds. So, and then I built a dashboard in InfluxDB UI with 10 live gauge panels, each auto refreshing every 10 seconds. That's the minimal. I mean, you could do it for every hour or whatever, and you can graph it however you want, and I'll show that in the videos. But yeah, so big debugging things was install errors with pipe, and then missing a board, system crashes, LIB GPIOD errors, which is just a package, so just a lot of package errors, and then missing board attributes, hardware missing that I wanted to have, reinstalling over and over again multiple packages, just lots of debugging. But to get past that, just little telnet tests for especially connecting to the MacBook from the Pi and vice versa. Just telnet tests helped a lot.